there, you're on the Power Circuit, a program brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN to keep you updated about milestones in the Nigerian electricity supply industry, NESI. Amara Agugesi will be taking you through the reports today. Minister of Power restates commitment towards collaborating with state governments. House of Representatives Committee understudies TCN's operations. NDA cadets on tour to electricity transmission facility in Abuja. Let's get on to the details. The Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, restates his commitment towards collaborating with state governments to accelerate access to electricity. In demonstrating the commitment, the minister paid a one-day working visit to Sokoto State. The Power Circuit brings you the highlights of his visit.
In Sokoto State, the Minister of Power met with the Governor, His Excellency Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto, and had the privilege of witnessing the remarkable progress being made in the power sector. While commending the Sokoto State government on investing in the power infrastructure, Chief Adelabu said the Electricity Act has paved the way for subnational governments to invest in the electricity value chain. He further assured the people of Sokoto that the federal government, through the Ministry of Power and its agencies, will provide every necessary support to ensure the success of this project. The minister inspected the recently completed 38 megawatts independent power plant built by the state government, where he noted that the government also has the ancillary infrastructure in place, including the switchyard, substation, and the 33 kilovolts distribution lines. The Minister of Power also visited the Goronyo Dam with a view to collaborating with the state government on the possibility of building a 15 megawatts hydroelectric power plant. Chief Adelabu then urged other state governments to emulate Sokoto's example and invest in the power sector value chain.
In line with the critical role of the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN in providing the needed electricity by power sector operators, members of the House Committee on Delegated Legislation were at the TCN headquarters to understudy the company's operations.
The committee members, led by the chairman, Right Honorable Olufemi Richard Bamisile, also visited TCN to understand its challenges and future plans, as well as to ensure its rules align with the principles of good governance, accountability, and transparency. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, was on ground to receive the lawmakers.
TCN emerged from the defunct PHCN, which is Power Holding Company of Nigeria, as a product of the merger of the transmission and operational sectors in April 1st, 2004. TCN was incorporated in November 2005. Being one of the 18 unbundled business units under the Power Holding Company of Nigeria, TCN was issued a transmission license on 1st July 2006. It was subsequently issued 2 licenses on June 10, 2013 for electricity transmission and system operations.
Engineer Abdulaziz, while dissecting the role of TCN in the Nigerian electricity supply industry, further stated that the power sector is well governed.
TCN is currently ring-fenced into 2 business units with license issued for TSP, then ISO. ISO, which is Independent System Operator, it comprises of SO and MO, System Operator and Market Operator. TSP, that's Transmission Service Provider, is responsible for the grid construction, operation and maintenance of the transmission system within Nigeria and interconnection with neighboring countries. TSP oversees maintenance activities on all TCN substations and transmission lines infrastructure in the 10 regions, 31 sub-regions and 11 work centers across the country. The Independent System Operator, being a semi-autonomous sector under Transmission Company of Nigeria, is responsible for operating the transmission system in a safe and reliable manner.
Chairman of the committee, Right Honorable Bamisile, said the visit was an expository one for members of the committee to have further insights into the company's operations.
It's a great honor to be here this afternoon on this familiarization tour. I would like to express my gratitude to the management and the staff of TCN for hosting us and giving us the opportunity to learn about your vital roles in our nation's energy sector. The Transmission Company of Nigeria plays a crucial role in the power value chain of our country. It is responsible for the transmission of electricity from generating stations to distribution companies and ultimately to the end consumers. The importance of the work cannot be overstated as it directly affects the reliability and stability of our power sector. One of the core functions of the House of Representatives Committee on Delegated Legislation is to oversee the implementation of delegated legislation and to ensure that it is in line with the intentions of the legislature.
He further noted that the familiarization visit would help to promote synergy with TCN for the overall good of the power sector.
We understand that the energy sector faces numerous challenges, including inadequate funds, transmission losses, overdated infrastructure. We want to assure you that we're committed to addressing these issues and finding ways to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of TCN's operations. As lawmakers, it is our duty to create an enabling environment for the growth of the energy sector. We are fully aware of the importance of reliability and affordable electricity supply for our socio-economic development. Therefore, we will do everything in our power to support TCN in its mission to provide efficient and reliable transmission services across the nation.
The TCN team further appealed to the committee to intervene in the area of resolving issues of the encroachment of right-of-way or power transmission lines and projects.
Right-of-way issue is a big issue for us. Even within Abuja here, we are doing Abuja feeding scheme, sponsored by Agence de France, ALD, to do from from Appo to where we call New Appo. This is less than 3 kilometers up till now. What our appeal is this: we don't have powers, even when we have the resources to pay for the right of way. When you acquire right of way, to even take possession, for instance, Abuja FCDA, for them to give you that backup to even do construction. When you pay these people, the next thing, so many people takes you to court, these projects will drag, even if you have the money. So many places in Nigeria now, you cannot do any project successfully.
The power circuit continues soon.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, transmits bulk electricity from power generating companies, GenCos, distribution load centers of distribution companies, DISCOs, nationwide. At TCN, we transport bulk electricity at very high voltage to DISCOs, who now off-take it and distributes it directly to electricity customers nationwide. TCN does not generate electricity. We transport the quantum of power generated to distribution load centers. TCN does not distribute electricity directly to electricity consumers. Our job stops where that of the DISCOs begin. TCN consists of two distinct business units: the Transmission Service Provider, TSP, and Independent System Operation, ISO. ISO comprises System Operation, SO, and Market Operation, MO. Each business unit performs specialized functions under the TCN umbrella. TCN, transmitting bulk electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
One of the best ways to learn is through hands-on experience. The other way is to experience the work being done by experts in the relevant field of human endeavor. It is with no small understanding that the Nigerian Defense Academy led some of its cadets on a courtesy visit to the headquarters of the Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN) to have a first view of what electricity transmission entails.
The cadets from the Nigerian Defense Academy were led by the head of Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department at NDA, Professor John Essien, as they came to visit the management officials at the TCN corporate headquarters in Abuja. The Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider, Engineer Oluwagbenga Ajigboye, received the visiting team on behalf of the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz.
So you are welcome. We believe in sharing our experience with you. You will understand better the way transmission sector operates in the power value chain. So I'm here representing my MD. He is unavoidably upset, though he knows that he will be coming. It has been discussed. I'm representing him on behalf of him. I welcome you all here this morning. Thank you very much for considering us worthy to be visited in wanting to share in our experience and what we have been doing to transmit power to the nation. So I remember vividly that some sets were here last year.
That's correct.
Engineer Ajiboye dissected the operation of TCN in maintaining the Nigerian transmission system in the power sector value chain.
So the different sector we are about to is, let me put it in three categories: generation, transmission, and distribution. While generation are different companies up to 23 presently, we still have more licenses to build power stations. The transmission infrastructure remains one, which connects all the generation in the federation. That is the headquarters of the company you are now. However, Transmission Company of Nigeria has two entity components, that is transmission service provider and independent system operation. I talking to you today is the aspect of the transmission service provider of TCN that holds the infrastructure, maintain the infrastructure. We have another sector, ISO, that is a regulator within us that control the whole grid. That is, tell you to bring your machine to the grid, remove your machine from the grid, put on this line, and with the power to the last sector, which is the Distribution Company of Nigeria, that all of you know, that are very common and very close to you. Those are the people you feel most of the time when your light goes off. They distribute the power in retail way, while the transmission carry it in bulk way.
After a session at the headquarters, the cadets in the company of TCN officials told the 13233 kV Appo transmission substation, the oldest transmission substation in Abuja. The General Manager, Transmission in Abuja Region, Engineer Shuaibu, engaged the team by providing an overview of the Appo Substation.
This substation happens to be the first transmission station in Abuja. Power supply to Abuja complex starts from here. It starts from Shiroro, Mina, Suleja to this place. It was commissioned in 1983, and I know it's virtually all of you here. So 1983. This station, sir? This station, yeah. That supplied Abuja and environment. That means up to Nasarawa state. We have Kwanga. So this is the station, and here presently supply over 70% of supply to Abuja is from this place. It used to be 2 by 45 MVA substation with one outgoing line. Two line comes in from not Shiroro, let's say the old one, from Mina, Suleja to this place. But with the upgrade, we now cut off that line. We have the 330 in Katampe. So 2 lines come from Katampe to this place. Then 2 lines from Gwagwalada to this place. The one in Katampe comes from Shiroro, that is a power station. Then the one in Gwagwalada comes from Ajakuta. You know, you have a power station in Ajakuta, Gerugu, comes to this place. So you have 2 power stations supplying here on 132. Here is a 132 substation. It used to be 2 by 45 MVA. Increase in load, with the demand, we have upgrades. Now, presently, what we are having is we have 2 by 100 MVA, then 1 by 60 MVA, then 1 by 45 MVA.
Right inside the control room of the Appo Substation, TCN officials explained the role of the various devices to the cadets.
You are welcome to the 132 kV Appo Substation. As I said, presently we have a 2 by 100 MVA, 1 by 60 and 1 by 45 MVA. This side, this is the 132 kV side, and this is the 33 kV side, and these are the operators. That is, they're the one controlling the grid. You'll be hearing of system collapse. They make sure that the system is stable. It's their responsibility to do that. They monitor. Ideally, what the kind of system we have here in TCN is we have what we call a 1.5 breaker arrangement. Like this one here, this is a line. This line goes to Akwanga. On each way you have a tee-off in Karu, Kefi, Akwanga. These are the buses, bus 1, bus 2. This is a line bay. Then this is the tie bay. That is why we now say, we call it 1.5 breaker arrangement.
SCADA, as you may want to know, is an acronym. Just like abbreviation when you talk about NEPA, you talk about PACN, they are acronyms. And SCADA stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. If you have the understanding of that acronyms, you already know what SCADA is all about and what SCADA can do. SCADA does control. We also use it to supervise the grid, and we also use it to acquire data for further planning. So that is what SCADA is all about. Currently, coming to use Appo as a case study of 132 stations, we have some SCADA equipment that are being installed all over the grid in all our 330, 132, and power stations. When I talk about power station, I'm talking about generating stations. We have SCADA equipment that are installed there so that we can use those equipment to monitor the operations of the system.
The frequency that is telling us the generation from the power station all over the country. We are already interconnected. We have plenty of power stations. We have Egbin in Lagos. We have Delta 4 in Ujeli. We have Geregu gas in Kogi State, Ajakuta. We have Kenjin. We have Shiroro. We have Jeba. So all these power stations in the country, we are interconnected. And we are working at the same time with this thing. This frequency is the one that is telling us how we are moving.
The cadets were also at the switchyard to see how the substation works.
and that is Get Home. Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. So far we have learnt and we have been brought to a position of outcome-based education. We have been to the headquarters and we have seen how practical these things can be. So we have been taught about power generation, transmission and distribution. We're happy that, and coming here has awakened our sense of awakeness, that has brought our happiness, and we have seen in practice this thing that we have been taught in class. So now it's true that if my mind does not go to the mountain and something like that, okay. So we have actually been brought here and we can see everything that actually goes on from stage to stage. We are grateful, sir. So from the commandant to we say a very big thank you, sir. Nigerian Defense Academy is promoting outcome-based education. Coming here from the headquarters, I can say there's this sense of happiness that has come because of an awakening of my educational mind. Like those things we have seen in class, those pictures, those diagrams. So those things have been brought to us practically step by step, and we have seen everything, and there's a sense of happiness.
You just heard from the Assistant General Manager Transmission, Kaduna Sub-Region, Engineer Nasiri Fada. The sub-region does not just deliver bulk power to Kaduna Electric for services to Kaduna residents. It is also a major gateway to other northwestern states and is even a route for bulk electricity supply to international customers. That is it on this edition. Let's have the highlights of the reports again. We started by telling you that Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, has restated commitment towards collaborating with state governments. We also brought to you the proceeding of a visit by members of a House of Representatives committee to understudy TCN operations. And from the legislature, we took you to the Armed Forces Zone, where you got a report on the tour of NDA cadets to TCN's electricity transmission facility in Abuja. We implore you to stick with the power circuit for expository reports on the power sector. You can view this episode and all others on the TCN YouTube channel. If you haven't connected with TCN on its social media platforms, then you can do that now as you subscribe to the TCN YouTube channel, TCN_Nigeria. Kindly support TCN on Facebook as you like the page Transmission Company of Nigeria. You can also follow TCN on X, formerly Twitter, via @TCN_Nigeria. Experience TCN and X activities on Instagram as you click TCN_Nigeria. Please send your observations and comments by email to affairs.public@tcn.org.ng. For more information about the company's activities, go to the interactive website www.tcn.org.ng. There is also an information site www.tcnnews.ng, where TCN keeps you updated about its activities as you do your best to guard against vandalism of transmission lines, towers and substations in your locality. The management is committed to sustain its bulk power evacuation for national development. Thank you for your time today. I am Amara Agugesi. Let's have another good time next week.